Another night of great finals is complete here in Knoxville, Tennessee at the TYR Pro Swim Series in Knoxville. Just some Olympians and future Olympians are going to be a lot of names to watch here. I'm Jeff Cummings with two-time Olympian Kathleen Sandino. Caitlin, how'd you think about all the racing tonight?
Well, we got off to an incredible start with the 200 freestyle, which I know we'll cover later, but the men's 100 breaststroke, how'd you feel about that? That was a very exciting race.
Very close race, and I can't wait to see that event at the 2020 trials because the two people who go to Olympics, third, fourth, and fifth are even going to be oh so close by a fingernail. And it's always those five guys I think are going to be just so hungry.
Yes.
And you could see it here in the racing.
Well, it's the depth that we have in USA Swimming. Yeah. When you mentioned fourth, fifth, and sixth could potentially make it, but I mean, fortunately only top two.
I love having that depth, but of course you don't want to be one of those people who's like, this is so deep I might not even make the team. You want to be like, this is comfortable. I feel good. You have that little confidence.
And then I have to talk about the 400 IM, being a 400 IMer, and to watch Katie Ledecky have such a commanding 200 freestyle performance, and then to follow it up with winning the 400 IM. I mean, what doesn't she do?
What can't she do? Well, I don't think she could really do breaststroke. I think if you put her in a breaststroke race, that's probably the only thing she could
Just get her to freestyle, and she's good to go.
Yeah, put her in freestyle. She's fine. So we've got C and D finals still going on behind us. So if you want to be able to check those out, you'll be able to see those online a little bit later. So we're going to start off with talking with our esteemed guest tonight, who is just one of the nicest, most bubbly, just the greatest people. When you walk on deck and you see her smile, it's just so amazing to see her. Kathleen Baker, world record holder. She is just on fire in 2018, and she's going to have 2019. And, you know, I bet everybody on the national team really loves to have her because she's instantly everyone's friend.
Right.
And I think one of the friends that she's really cherished having over the years is Katie Miley, who really kind of helped her make that adjustment to Charlotte and being on the team elite and all the teams throughout the years. And this is a little feature that they did, Katie talking to Kathleen.
Kathleen Baker is one of my best friends in the sport.
Yeah, I met Katie Miley when I was 16 years old, and she sort of became
And our friendship started when I first moved to Charlotte in 2013. She had recently gotten moved up from the senior age group level of Swim Back to Team Elite, which is the team I moved there to join.
We go from when I'm 16 years old and my parents asked her to babysit me for the weekend because I had to be alone, to being roommates at the Olympics and spending 6 weeks together at training camps and things like that.
And so we both kind of started the process around the same time. I just was 23 and she was 16, so we were in different phases of our life, but we were going through the same things together.
She's such a support system for me, and we just have so much fun together, traveling and rooming together, and it's just been a lot of fun to be in the sport with her and watch both of us grow through this. I mean,
we literally do everything together. At swim meets, we're rooming together again, and she drove me up here today, so we're together quite a lot, but I really love it.
So Kathleen Baker is here. It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you guys.
What'd you think about all those words that Katie had for you?
This is the first time I've seen that, and Katie is like a sister to me. She's been such a great role model and continues to be for me and so many other swimmers, and I just love being in the sport with her. It's been so much fun watching both of us grow, and we sort of progressed together through it.
Right.
And it's really special, and it's really stressful because we swim on the same days at big meets, and so we get so nervous for each other. She's always like, I can't even watch before I swim because a lot of times we're in the ready room and things like that, but you know, I just love having her around, and I love what she's doing in law school now, and it's just so incredible to see.
Yeah. So tell us about that. First of all, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you guys.
And how were your holidays?
It was good. It was good to be home. Took a little break after Short Course World, so I'm getting back into it and just ripping the Band-Aid off here.
Welcome back.
Yeah, right off taper, you just got to get right to work right away. So yeah, you talked about going to Short Course Worlds. What was the experience like in China?
Honestly, I had a blast. My performances weren't really what I wanted, but it's funny, I look back and I had so much fun along the way, and it's not always about like exactly doing your best. It was such an amazing group of girls and guys, and it was so fun to experience it with that and watch my teammates just go out there and pretty much break an American or world record every time. So what's not inspiring about that?
Yeah, it's absolutely inspiring, and it's just one of those things of, we were just talking about how, you know, you create all these friendships throughout the team. Yeah. And of course, both of us having been on national teams, I think that's what you remember the most.
Oh yeah, like they're my best friends and I see them 3 weeks out of the year. And that's what we always joke about, and there's a big group of us class who's been coming up together since 2016, 2015. So it's so cool to watch the national team grow as we were rookies, and now it's like my 5th or 6th year being on the national team.
Yeah, definitely. We'll talk about now being more of a veteran.
Yeah.
You had your 3 years competing for Cal, decided to give up that last year. How has that transition been going pro now?
Oh, it's been really great, of course, but it's definitely a huge transition,
I'm
like
sure.
balancing so many different obligations and things like that, and I'm really thankful to be doing it now and not in 2020.
Yes, good timing.
Yeah, so it's been really good, and I've been enjoying it, doing my own schedule, getting to travel the world, and especially I know going into 2019 I'll be a lot more training and a little bit less traveling for meet, so it's been good to experience that and get to sort of enjoy that aspect of swimming that I've been able to not really been able to do as much.
Definitely, and it's been probably somewhat of a whirlwind for you. Have you gotten time to really let that world record sink in yet?
I think a little bit. I took a nice break over the holidays and after August, and it's just sort of been fun to relive those moments, or when I go to swim clinics and have the little kids come up to me, and that's been really a special part about turning pro, is seeing how many kids really look up to you and like, love watching your backstroke, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, you're somebody's role model. A lot of people's role model. It's amazing.
And obviously the highlight of 2018 was that world record in the 100 backstroke. Has it sunk in yet that you are the fastest woman in history in that event?
I don't think it has, but my 200 IM I'm just as happy with. When I finished that, my coach told me that he's prouder of that than my 100 backstroke.
Look at, we get to relive it right now.
What I love most is the reaction.
Yes, your reaction was priceless. Your smile, your earrings.
I gotta have the pearls.
You gotta have the pearls. Always gotta look good, girl. Doesn't matter what's going on.
I was like, I don't have a lot to work with, so I gotta put the earrings in.
Yeah.
But it was just such a surprise, which I think was even better about it, was I wasn't really expecting it too much. It's of course been my goal, but to do it outside when I'm like right on the lane rope, so I was pretty surprised with it and so happy at the same time.
And how do you like San Diego?
I love it. I have an apartment like 2 blocks from the beach,
Oh,
so
no.
Living the good life.
I am living the San Diego life.
I get it. It must be hard getting to the pool. You're like, beach, pool. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I love to do a good ocean swim on our recovery
There
days
you
and
go.
things like that.
Now you're
so,
talking.
Yeah.
It is really nice. So 2019 is going to be a pretty stacked year, going to World Championships. Are you going to be going to a lot of the Pro Swim Series stops?
I should be. I'm going to try to hit Des Moines in March, and then haven't really decided past that which ones I'm going to go to, but I'm excited to get to do some. I haven't been able to do a lot of Pro Series in college years, so I'm excited to be back, get back into it, and I was asking all the girls, I'm like, is this how it works? Is this how it works? Because it's been a little bit, but it's such a good time to see like some of my best friends who are all here on the national team.
And Jeff and I have been talking about, I mean, the prize money has to be somewhat of an incentive to want to come to a couple more races than normal, maybe.
It's been really nice. It's sort of mimicking like the World Cup format a little bit.
100%.
So that's been a good offer to not have to travel across the world or in Europe or China or Asia to be able to win prize money. It's good to be right at home, like in the U.S., where some of these are only a couple hours from my house. So that's nice too.
Yeah. So what else are you going to be swimming here in Knoxville?
So I just have 100 back tomorrow. I'm only doing the first 2 days because I'm actually moving some of my things down from Berkeley to San Diego this weekend.
Will you be moving a Golden Goggle Award? Where have you put that prestigious
They're actually
award?
all hanging in my room back in North Carolina. I have like sort of a little trophy wall there, but I like to go home and check it out. They're pretty heavy to travel with, so I don't want to lug them around.
Yeah, the TSA agents will be like, what in the world is that?
I just met a TSA agent who was a USA swimming official, and I was traveling with my gold medal, so he thought that was like the coolest thing ever. And
Do they go off through security?
They do, because it's like a block.
And then they like pull them out, and you're like,
oh gosh,
that's
it's
a
so
gold medal.
awkward. He was like, I want to take a photo, but that's unprofessional as I go through your swim bag.
Oh my gosh, Olympian problems, ladies and gentlemen. These are the things you have to worry about when you have Olympic medals. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it is.
Kathleen, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure talking to you. We're looking
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing you racing more here in Knoxville and then hopefully in Des Moines.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right, so Kathleen is one of those high-performance athletes that it takes a lot of work to get her time off her events in the pool. And NBC's Amit Farid went behind the scenes to see how this happens.
Yeah, every sport you're looking for those little advantages. How do you get faster, even just by 100th of a second? Well, the guys that I'm about to introduce you to right here help the U.S. national team do that. This is Matt Barbini. This is Russell Mark. Guys, thank you for joining. This is the video review team. So, Matt, you're the director of performance. So what do you guys do?
This is a setup that we have at every meet, Pro Swim Series and Nationals. And our goal here is to provide video review services for all our national team athletes, as well as any other information they might need on top of that. So we film everybody's races. We set them up here to play back on these monitors behind you, and they can slow down, speed up, analyze certain sections of their race, and then we provide them with some data afterwards, and we're here to help them talk through technique, or just be a resource to them in any way we can.
So how will that process go here, Russell? What are they looking for? So here's a video of a race right here. What specifically are some of these swimmers looking for?
Yeah, so many of our athletes are watching for different things. Technically, every athlete's got something unique. Right here we're looking at Katie Ledecky, and she's looking at her breath, and she's trying to keep that breath low, trying to keep her stroke balanced from side to side, whereas someone like Simone Manuel might be looking a little bit more at her start, where in sprints, the start is more critical.
So here's the video where you can kind of see some of it. You go, okay, I can see what you're talking about. But if they want the actual data of how many cycles it took them and how quick they were going front and back, here's some of the data here, Matt. Well, explain what we're seeing here.
Yeah, so this is the kind of report that we would generate for an individual race. And we'll do this for anybody that's kind of interested in digging in a little further than just the video. You can see there you have cycle counts, tempos, splits for each section of the race, and then how your tempo changes across the course of the race. And different people, like Russell just said, will kind of take different things out of this. But this is a pretty comprehensive set of information that they can use to sort of analyze the pieces of their race that they're focused on at this part of the season.
So I imagine for every athlete there's a different style. Some of them perhaps may not even want to watch the video. I mean, is that true, Russell?
Yeah, I mean, there's different levels of technical comfort. Comfort with information, comfort with video. With our younger junior teamer athletes, we're trying to get them to be more involved, because this kind of information can give the edge to getting to that next level we're trying to get.
And before I let you, this is the future, right? You hear it for every sport. All that data, and then using that data in a useful way.
That's the key, right? Data on its own doesn't really tell you anything. It's knowing how to take that data from this race, go home, back to training, and put it into your training, and then come back and be a little better next time when you look at your race and are able to identify the things that you did better from the data you got from the last race.
If you guys can gain a swimmer 1/100th of a second, that could be the difference right between gold and bronze. No pressure, right? Guys, thank you. That was really cool to see a little behind the scenes of how the U.S. national team gets just a little bit faster, Ted.
So, Kaylin, I don't know if I'd want to have all that information right after a race. Whether it's a good one or bad one, I don't know if I'd want to see myself. I think I always have a little trouble watching myself in a race. What about you?
I mean, I like to watch the technique part of it, but all the numbers and all the math, I'm not a math girl. So all of the different stats might take a little bit for me to comprehend, but like we're saying, it makes such a huge difference when we're talking hundreds of seconds that determine first, second, third, or making the team, not making the team, getting on the podium. I mean, and USA Swimming, Russell and Matt do a fantastic job.
They're amazing. And I was never one of those numbers people either, but when I was on the resident team, my coach, Jonty Skinner, very much a numbers person.
Yes.
So he was always about stroke rate and distance per stroke. And so that was always burned in my brain. So as much as I didn't like really hearing it right away, it really was very helpful. So it's really good to see how USA Swimming has continued to evolve with that. And I think every athlete is, whether it's right after the race or a day after, I'm sure they're just loving to have that information.
Keeping up with the times.
Yep. So one race I know that everybody wanted to watch and analyze was the women's 200 free today, as we talked about. Katie Ledecky leading the way, and just a really charged field. As we talked about in the early show today, 6 of the finalists are with Team USA at the World Championships, and that's a really good rehearsal for them to try to be able to show that they could be on that 800 free relay.
Definitely, and getting that spot on the relay, like we talked about earlier, is just monumental. I mean, to be able to put on the cap, USA, your last name, representing your country, and for me, I mean, it's one of the most fondest memories of my swimming career, and the chances, I mean, you get 6 people get to make the team, so you get a little bit more chances when you race in that one.
All right, so let's take a look at that race, and it was led by, of course, as we said, Katie Ledecky, and right next to her was her training partner, Simone Manuel, and of course, Simone Manuel is going to have a great start, but I was surprised by how good Katie Ledecky was on the start.
Yeah, don't let that distance fool you. You know, she gets off that block quick, and you know, I thought it was going to maybe be a little bit tighter of a race. Obviously, I knew Katie was going to have, you know, a pretty demanding performance, but I mean, nobody's even closer. And this is a 200. This is usually like what a 400 and 800 looks like.
Yeah, but look at that up in lane 3, third from the top. I was really excited to see Simone Manuel do so well. She has been, I think she wasn't really focusing too much on the 200 before, but now she's getting back into it, thinking maybe I could be part of the 800 freestyle relay
Right.
in Tokyo. That would be a really nice addition
And
to
we're
our
kind
program.
of, joking that this is a sprint for Katie Ledecky, and then for Simone, this is getting a little bit longer in the distance for her.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see teammates being able to put up some great times. I'm super impressed with the 155, like I said, beginning of the season, and it was just a half a second off of her season best from
Yeah.
Winter Nationals. I mean, if she's going 155 right now, what are we going to see at World Champs?
I'm shuddering to think what Katie Ledecky can do. Of course, she's got a stacked program. I think I heard her say she's swimming 6,000 meters
No
at
big
World
deal.
Championships.
No big deal. I know, after winning the 400 IM, like, oh, you're going to swim this? She's like, I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think
I
she's
think
good.
she's very good.
So tonight was great, but tomorrow is going to be even better. We've got a lot of events for you tomorrow, including the 200 butterfly, the 50 free, look at that, the 100 backstroke. Our world record holder, Kathleen Baker, is going to be doing that. The 200 breaststroke, the 50 fly, the 400 free, that will be Katie Ledecky's signature event. And then we have the 200 mixed medley relay. I know the swim squads are going to be looking for some pride in that one. That's always fun to watch. So it's going to be really exciting. You want to make sure you go to the Olympic Channel at 6 p.m. And then when that's all over, come to us at USA Swimming. Caitlin Sandino and I are going to be talking with, who knows who we're going to be talking to tomorrow
Maybe
night.
Michael Andrew?
Michael Andrew's going to be our guest for the afternoon show after
Yes.
prelims. And we don't want to tell you who we're going to have
You
for
just
finals. You
never
just want to be able to
know.
come here for that. And of course, one thing you're going to have only on Deck Pass Live, you won't be able to find it anywhere else, is the A final of the men's 400 freestyle. So make sure that you're at usaswimming.org for the men's 400 freestyle. It's going to be a stacked field. Anton Ibsen has been swimming very, very well. I think he's going to be kind of the class of the field.
Definitely.
And we're just going to see who else can kind of stay at his feet. It's pretty much the way it's going to be. But, who knows? It's at this time of season.
Definitely. We look forward to seeing you guys back here. Thanks for following us.
Thank you.